I have my peoples.
Everyone's just thinking, like, who's the mole? Who's the Valor? It was Valor.
It was the Griffin all this long.
I'll be like, it was Nathan. He and his dad have been spying on you the whole time.
Probably.
It was like that pink bunny onesie was true. He was not to be trusted.
He will fight us then with his pink suit and his pink cowboy hat. We must be wary with that.
The final battle is Nathan in his onesie on the stairs.
Dun, dun, dun. It gives him a +10 to stair combat.
Anytime anyone uses those stairs, like there's a training measure of Cedric, they're gonna get like with like the Skyrim, like your stamina increased to 100.
It's actually Cedric's favored terrain.
Yeah.
Cedric stairs.
Where should we meet them in battle, sir? On the stairs, my good man. On the stairs.
It's over
And they're like,
I have the stair ground.
Cedric's full name is Cedric Stairs Ashwood.
Yeah.
Cedric, I have the stair ground, Ashwood.
That bunny. Hi, everybody. We just filmed the Dragon Age Ascension episode 9. So this is our vlog.
I know there's nothing to say. There's nothing to talk
Yeah.
about.
It was very uneventful
Okay,
session.
everyone,
Pretty much nothing happened. Yeah, bye, guys.
Yeah, all right, catch you later.
Also, we don't know what order this is going to come up in, but we haven't killed the dragon yet.
Yeah, you haven't killed the dragon yet.
Shucks. If only we could do that, but it seems that we won't be able to.
But next session, yeah, taking on a high dragon next session, it'll be really interesting. With
That level gave you levels up to 8, maybe?
Oh, Kevin, we should have a moment with our powers combined.
That's why we're bringing the level 20s.
Yeah, bring the level 20s.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
We'll just stand in the back and be like, they can kill it, and then the soul comes straight to us. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be 9. It's gonna be about 9 characters. I think it gives a high drag. We might be able to take care of it.
If anything, I feel like we'll be a more liability than anything, but it'll be fun.
Yeah. Oh god.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to ask. Hark, was because I gave you control over both of the secrets in the questionnaire, was the cure one of them?
One of the secrets?
Yeah, like in the questionnaire, like a secret that Darthan doesn't know, and like those two things.
I think that's a very good possibility. Yes, it's a very good possibility. That was one of the secrets. Very good possibility. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting scene. Just like, hey, I have the cure here. What?
Hark and I are actually like building it together. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's got to be side effects.
Yeah, the lyrium.
Oh, there are. It's like it's similar to the side effects that the Templars face when they have lyrium addiction.
Yeah.
It's almost exactly the same.
Next time, one of the two of you should talk to Cedric about it.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, I was hoping me or Dad were going to talk to Cedric in at least this session, but we didn't get the chance. So hopefully next time. After Dragon Fight.
Yeah.
Because,
I know Deartham said he wasn't interested, but as a doctor, I figured Tyrion would be. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was more me just being dumb and not remembering the lyrium addiction. So yeah.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was actually also interesting. I didn't expect Tyrion was going to see Darthan's face today's session. That was going to be a little bit later. But then in some moment I was like, okay, it's going to be earlier. Oh, sure. I guess an earlier slip of the face, I guess, is better.
I think it'll definitely open up a lot of really cool like role-playing opportunities for Dominic, because it seems like we've closed the door to him trying to kill all the Darkspawn, but now there's a completely different like dilemma he has to deal with, which is
I will
addiction.
say that the door wasn't necessarily closed, but it was definitely, he was more open to the possibility that maybe if they're regular, kind of like how I said with how you regulate the Rankle in the beginning, if there's a way to regulate the Awakened. But now, if there's the chance of a full-on cure, like, He's
Yeah, you suddenly have found a very interesting new purpose.
yeah. I mean, he's pretty much going to, like, as much as he can, run himself ragged doing this, so that way he can get as much out of it as possible. He doesn't care if he kills himself doing it. He, like, before it was just vengeance and just a hope that maybe I can help a few people, but now it's a legitimate thing he can do. So that combined with the stuff with Pasha, combined with everything else, has definitely made him more hopeful.
How does this affect your relationship with Darren? Because on one hand, you now can actually, touch her without tainting her, but on the other hand, she now kind of realizes fully your secret, and at the moment seems to be avoiding you a little bit. So
I mean, I think there's only one way to do that, and it's general human stuff. You communicate, because the relationship don't work if you don't communicate. So it's going to be some communication.
Also, there's an age gap there.
Yeah,
It wasn't the Darkspawn. It was just that you are old, and I don't do that.
So it's gonna be an Edward Cullen, Bella Twilight thing. It's gonna be a Twilight thing, except Dartham doesn't sparkle. But I don't know. Maybe if he drinks enough of this stuff, he'll start to sparkle again.
You know what?
I don't know.
Maybe
That
have a
makes
light delirium glow.
Yeah, side effect is
for some reason, I'm the guy, like, my girlfriend was like, we're not watching Twilight. I'm like, oh, we're watching Twilight. And that slipped with me. So that makes sense. But yeah, the interesting thing is that this, I think, I'm actually kind of thinking it may end up in kind of a Hugh situation where he may not end up with anyone because he doesn't need that to get better. I'm not sure. I'll
Tyrion's
see.
like, yes.
Back on the market.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not entirely sure. If anything, it was almost, he was kind of not torturing himself, but like knowing that it was never possible with Darren. But now that it's actually a thing, he has to, like, wait, hold on, let's consider. And he's gonna have a talk with her. And then also he's going. Leon just now knows, and Leon was just like, oh, cool. which is just funny. And so everybody except for Nathan and Pasha knows, which I'm very okay with that.
Yeah.
I've actually considered a possibility that Tyrion might actually just stab Darren, because it's all right. Tyrion has traveled most of his, like, when he escaped to Winter, he traveled a lot in the Neanderthals, and the Neanderthals, the relationship with the Darkspawn is very not lovely. As in most places, the reason is because they got hit hard by it. The place is fucking tainted for most of the part. But then I think it came to the realization of, like, all right, hold up. Darren has spoken quite a lot with Tyrion, especially in the session 7 when they had the moment when Tyrion was afraid of with Darren. They had that talk, and it eventually became the point where, there was no point in him stabbing him if he was a Darkspawn. It was a Darkspawn. He has looks of a monster, but honestly, he's not as a person.
Yeah, and even he's starting to realize that slowly. And yeah, that was a twist I honestly did not expect. Like, I was kind of joking when I said in that one session, like, it would change if he had the cure for the blight, but it's actually a thing now. So, damn.
Yeah, looks how the regulates for you also.
Yeah, because I knew immediately that Dartham would probably get addicted to Liam really quickly. So it was just like, Tyrion, you take it. You take it.
You're good. I'm gonna moderate this for you. Oh, you're good.
Okay, I'm done with my piece.
Same here.
Why are there so many spies? Why?
Sorry. I'm still part of the campaign. I have a lot.
She does have a
I mean,
You're not sorry. That's not the grin of a person who's sorry. That's the grin of a fucking Varys spy master manipulator who is having fun playing with our emotions.
At least the spies aren't people you know very well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the ironic thing is I was actually starting to warm up to, like, going to talk to Narika, then Then now I know she's just the traitor in the grass.
But,
Your
but
character
Russo
doesn't know that.
doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Russo
Yeah.
doesn't know
He's so good.
that.
If I find out, then it's
It makes the backstab so much better that you know,
Yeah.
but your character doesn't know.
You know what's gonna happen at the very end of the campaign? Daretham and Roos are gonna be like best buds, and then he's gonna be with Narika, and Narika's like, "Oh, you know, one time I actually sold out Balin to Andrea." And he's gonna be like, "Okay, you're dead now."
To be fair, nobody told Narika not to say anything about Balin. They told Rosie. Nobody told her anything.
But we didn't know she was a spy to Andrea.
Yeah.
Which
You
I
can't
have,
go
of
up
course,
to-
which I of course have no hand in any way knowing it was true.
This group needs to like meet everyone. Every new person this group meets is going to be like, "Hi, do you know Andrea?" Or like the storm sent me, or whatever that code word was.
Yep.
I do love how there's a trail of random disappearing bodies behind Cedric, because I'm just picturing like, you know, these assassins like sneaking up behind him, and then all of a sudden, whoosh, like somebody swoops in and grabs him, and then Cedric turns around. It's like, what was that? And
Is it bad when I shook his hand and then he winced? I thought like a crow was gonna like pop out the closet. And,
yeah.
You probably had several poison darts or arrows, like right.
Yeah,
Like,
they're all just like,
comes out of a potted plant with like a blow dart, and then they slowly go back down.
Right, exactly. It's like, I don't recognize this person. They're okay. I think
they're like you know, they're like in a cartoon.
Andrea
like,
gifted me that pot too, so it's
yeah, he gifted you that plant.
It's like, oh, blood. It's like, oh shit. And he sucks in the dart by accident.
The crows,
like, oh,
they're. Yeah, no, I mean the crows. Like I said, I figured out the crows. They go in shifts. Like, all right, you've got Mondays through whatever Tuesdays from this time to this time, and they just, you know, take turns watching Cedric all the time.
Also, Sharon got a new gun.
Yeah.
He's got a new weapon.
We got a resident sniper now.
You got a sniper, yeah.
Yes,
that's
sort
pretty
of.
awesome.
I didn't expect to get a gun, especially a doctor getting a gun.
Now, all we need to do is invent healing bullets.
There you go.
There you go.
Like Anna in Overwatch.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, you need a syringe. You need to be able to load up with little syringes that shoot like potions, healing potions.
Also, I can say, as the person who's carrying the cure to the taint is the one with the sniper rifle, I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that.
That's so funny. It was an idea of just like, I was like, oh, okay, Theron might be a little bit sad about his story. That's like, there's like guns better. And then suddenly Nathan just goes, hey, we could give you a gun. It's like, what? here's a sniper rifle. Oh shit!
It all happened so fast. It's like, oh man, here's the gun. Well, wait, what?
Yeah, you know, one moment you were just you were moaning about your lack of any size, and now you're just comparing sizes the next.
It's gonna take a lot of time to train that little gun.
It'll be fun, and you only have 10 shots, so I think it'll be
10 shots. 10 sessions worth.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
So
I had to give you Garrison.
Yeah.
Sir Dix-a-lot. Yeah, we were
Sir
getting Sir
Garrison.
Dix-a-lot.
Sorry, I was like Cedric wanted to give you Nazim. I didn't because I was like, how can I like just
fuck you, Kevin?
How can I stir the shit pot a little bit more? And I'm like,
Yeah.
Then Hark was like, Garrison's open, and I'm like,
Garrison's available.
That's a good one.
Kevin's one of those players who really likes to see you like step and poop. As
Leon may need to.
The drama. So.
I mean, I'm all for that too. I created my character Rousseau, and then in session 1, I was just like, I'm going to do my damnedest to kill Rousseau's mom because I want the drama.
And he did.
And I did.
And he did.
The good news is if Sir Garrison joins your team, I'm pretty sure that Pyrrhus is crossing Tyrion off of his list. is off of his blood ritual list.
Yeah.
So he might be like, so Leon, this
Templars.
Garrison. I think it's time to rethink that blood ritual training.
And then
Templars have a lot of blood. They're pretty healthy.
Yeah.
And then Liam's gonna say to Daretham, and after like 20 minutes talking to Garrison, Daretham's gonna be like, "Can you fucking sacrifice him, please? Can we just?"
Yes.
That's how we stop Pyrus from killing anyone. Is we just introduce someone worse to him every time.
Progressively worse. Oh no.
Hey man, Leon's got contacts in the crows now. Maybe he can just get him taken out.
I
don't
see
know
you
where
making
he
your own
went.
party a mole too.
I loved during the flashback when Sam, you were looking down, and then Kevin, look at me in the eyes. I'm like, oh,
I love
never
that.
in my life have I been like, I want to punch this man. I want to reach through the screen. Oh, God.
Yeah, 10
I
out of
love
10.
that. That was a great
Beautiful.
scene.
Yeah.
Such a great scene.
Fantastic role playing from both Kevin and from Sam.
Yeah.
Like awesome job.
Yeah.
Both.
You actually played that perfectly up until you said that your eyes started to water, which is completely understandable. Like, I designed to bring your parents into that to try and elicit a reaction, because he was trying to see how well you could control your emotions and kind of keep cool under pressure. So you did phenomenally up until like that little moment where he saw like the weakness and he was like, oh, shouldn't have done that, man.
That's the mark against.
Yeah. But you did beautifully.
Yeah. I did like how you pushed Leon quite a bit. I mean, and the assigning of Templar, that is 100% what you should have done. And then Leon's like, shoot, never should have come back.
Oh, I was gonna say you couldn't go into the office as a circle mage and not leave with a Templar if you're meeting with Kevin. No.
Yeah, no, definitely not. But I couldn't not go into his office, especially with dragons and Leon's back. I wonder what he's doing.
The scene also with Pasha and Andrea as well. Oh, awesome conversation. I love the back and forth, and I love the stories that you both told.
Yeah.
How long did it take for you guys to come up? Did you just literally come that up on the fly, or did you think about that ahead of time? The stories.
Oh, yeah, no, I just did that. I was actually glad she remembered what it's called when you lose yourself from being hit with too much brainwashing, because I forgot, but Andrea would know. But no, that was good.
I knew Sonny's thing because I've got a couple of kids where I'm like, these are interesting stories. And so it was like, so I had Sonny prepared. So I was just like, and I bring that out. There you go. Have sad times. My poor children.
Those two scenes, the one with Pasha and Andrea and the one with Cedric and Leon, those are like textbook perfect scenes for my interviews when you're auditioning for the campaigns. Like, if you had done that scene like with Cedric and performed it the way you did, like that would have been like oh my gosh, amazing. So I'm bringing that up because in a few months, it's actually going to come here sooner than you think. We're going to start auditions for the next campaign.
Oh, wow.
And
really?
you guys are going to be doing the interviews, or at least I'm offering to have you guys do the interviews. These are the type of scenes that I want you to come up with for those interviews, because you can see we got a lot from Leon's character from that scene. We got a lot from Pasha's character from that scene. That's the kind of stuff I want you to try to come up with for the candidates. So...
Yeah.
Oh, Sonny.
Yeah. Instead of getting them in the actual auditions, we got them in the actual full campaign tape. So there we have it.
Yeah, I just love that whole like back and forth from Pasha and Andrea. Just like how you can tell, like both sides are technically justified in their like.
Not technically, they are justified. Like both are right.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it just technically based off of which side you're actually looking at it.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
It just,
but they're both not wrong. They both are justified in their like scared our hatred towards that. So it was really good.
Yeah, it was a similar situation we had in session 7 with Tyrion and Darren, with the situation like they were both right in their ways of slavery, how they see it. It was a very kind of similar thing. Like you guys are both justifiable, right? It's just there's so many differences, but you are both right.
I'm excited for the future when Pasha could potentially be on the Triumvirate, because she was already tapped previously, and being a Dragon Slayer and all her other accolades could push her over the edge. And then will she remember this specific conversation? Will she break her treaty because the Qun are inherently correct, and the Qun will tide over everything?
Yeah.
Or
like all the conversations she's had with Tyrion and then Daretham and now Andrea, like leading that up to what will she do?
And will she, if peace is brokered with Andrea, will she keep to her agreement, or will she be like, haha, I've got you now? And will Andrea maybe trust Pasha a little bit more because she was with her and brokered this? And
oof, that would be so bad.
No, I would not trust her. I even told her to an extent, I do not trust you.
It's a very fair point. Pasha would not trust Pasha in that. It's like, no. The Qun will say what is best for the Qun. Don't be doing that. But I like 2 images. Like, Andrea comes to Saharon and she's like, have you got me the Alvarad to keep me safe? And Pasha's just like, yeah, the Arakune. That's me. Come with me. But then it kind of, after the session, it was like, by the way, the entire circus was Antivan crows. I'm not happy about that.
Oh man, sorry.
Are we secretly Antivan crows? Just because everyone else is Antivan crows, so we may as well just be sleeper cells.
That's the thing. We have all just ascended into the sky because we all just are crows. That's really what it is.
It's a flying circus.
Tommy, I really liked your conversation with Cedric.
Yeah. If it's any consolation, me as a player felt horrible about lying in both of those scenes.
Yeah.
I do feel, though, and I know it's not exactly the same situation, but I do feel like you have another thing in common between you and Cedric, in that Cedric is very work-oriented right now, and he's being stretched in many directions, and he has kind of honestly neglected his children a little bit. And I've been hinting at the fact that that's sort of a path that Rousseau has been going down with his son Balin, and that he's been working really hard, and Balin might have been feeling a little neglected as well. So I couldn't help but notice that similarity between you two a little bit.
I'm interested in us meeting Balin, just in the sense that we share like a soul bond. So I feel like it's going to be so weird to meet him, but for him too, because we're all going to kind of know each other when we meet. Yeah, it's really weird, and I feel like where we all share this soul bond, we must not feel complete until we're all together. So it's like our souls are mourning for each other. So it'll be interesting once they actually connect, and then we're like, okay, he's safe, because right now I don't know where he is.
That's the one thing that your Antivan Crow harem has not been able to inform you of.
I'm looking forward to the scene where they both come to the circus, and then what Rousseau will do, like, oh shoot, they're here, better hide Balin. But Balin will be like, circus.
He's like, I better hide Balin. Wait, where's Balin? And the crows are like,
the hammer, get back here.
And thus, that was the story of Rousseau Wren, forever chasing Antivan crows with a hammer.
The objection will come down on them.
Cue that chase music. The
exactly.
Or Narika, the merchant, will be like, oh, Mr. Alren, do you want to take shelter in my carriage for tonight, since I know that you're a little worried?
Mm-hmm.
Because Russo's warming up to her, and then she's...
Yes.
Proper distraction, maybe.
Tasha's just like, that's not the way you distract people. You invite them into alleyways.
Pasha, I enjoyed your small scene with Hugh as well.
That was so good. It's such a good movie too.
I really like, because I do think they're kind of similar in that, they're confined, but they're like freedom's right there, but being shackled is not as bad as a potential alternative of, falling and never stopping. And also I like the flying.
Yeah.
Little nugget.
Going into that conversation, see, I don't know if you guys noticed, but whenever there are a lot of things that I don't pre-plan or pre-think about when I am when these scenes with these NPCs start. And one thing that I immediately do at the very beginning when I realize this PC is going to start talking to this NPC is I immediately think, what are some common grounds these characters share? What is something about them that I feel could really resonate, or really, like, what can they relate to? And so that whole thing with the flying was like something just like, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. And I just kind of went with it. It's like, this is how Hugh can relate to Pasha. And it just, I felt it worked really well.
It did.
So
I love that. I really enjoyed that scene. Also, paint grenades.
Yeah.
Paint grenades.
Paint grenades is what is the gateway drug to magic for Pasha, apparently.
We're gonna use those. We're gonna save one paint grenade, and we're gonna throw that at the old god's head and just say disappear.
I have so many questions about, like, once if Pasha reveals in turn, he's gonna go, wait a minute, those
I know
sound
this
familiar.
Wait, I know those.
I know what those. I know what one of them used to do. It got me out.
Oh, also the scene with Hugh and Cedric. That was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to touch more on like lyrium sickness and our addiction, and then the withdrawals. And I tried, like, before I knew that conversation was going to come up, I kind of tried to like hint at it more with like him forgetting about it was bring your kids to work day, and then like him losing things. And it's just like because it starts out like really small and kind of builds up over time.
Yeah, that's why I wanted him to talk to Hugh, because one thing about Cedric, he's a very private person.
Mm-hmm.
But I know he opens up completely to Hugh, and if there's anything if he's dealing with something like lyrium addiction, which I think is a very personal thing, for Cedric, because I think talking about it can be interpreted as like weakness, which is not something that Cedric wants to have. He doesn't like being vulnerable with just anyone, and I knew that he could be vulnerable with obviously Andrea, but with Hugh as well, and I thought that would give Kevin the opportunity to address that issue.
I think even though, like, only Hugh knows the full extent of it, though. Like, because he doesn't want to like
worry
that, to Andrea.
I was gonna say, I don't think we've talked about it. I think she's just seen like the physical side of it, and like heard him waking up scared and things like that. Seen him dealing with headaches, and then like I'm fine, it's fine, and he's like,
You're right. It's that elephant in the room. It's a little bit, yeah.
But yeah, like, so Hugh is like the only person to know about like the constant hunger and clawing for it, and like, every time you see it, you're just like, I need it, but I know I shouldn't have it.
I meant to add this to our conversation with you and Hugh, in that he's been there, he's had that hunger before he became tranquil. He had the hunger to devour souls, even though that wasn't what he was trying to do, but when it actually happened to him accidentally, and he devoured people's souls, which is what has been keeping him alive and young this long. It was a great high, and he easily could have been addicted to it, and I guess he took again, the thing I love about Hugh is he believes that he took the cowardly way out by attempting to commit suicide, which turned him into Tranquil. But now that he was Tranquil, he didn't have to worry about that hunger anymore that he was scared of. So that definitely is something that Hugh understands and can, like, find common with Cedric.
And I can definitely also say, like, it'll be fun to touch on that in Dartham's story too, because Cedric is like the iron, like similar to Maximilian, the ironclad will. He's got that down. Dartham, while he has a lot of willpower, does not have much when it comes to Darkspawn. And because of that, I think he's going to far quicker than even should be possible fall into addiction. Because of that desperate need to like fix the mistakes he perceives he's made. So I think that'll be interesting. Also to talk with Cedric about that. I think Cedric will like notice he's have 2 drops and already he can see like signs. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. Well, the only person you got to stop you from that is Tyrion. So we'll see how long you can keep that from you.
But Darthan does have a way to pause you in time for a bit of...
Paralyze. Yeah.
Is it bad? I'm just imagining like Tyrion's asleep, then wakes up and sees like Dartham like leaned in through the window grabbing it, and then he just paralyzes him as soon as he
You saw nothing.
He goes,
Leon, I need your blood magic. Wipe his memory real quick.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
While we're on Leon, I love that little bit with him and Rosie right there when I was on the warp.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Oh no.
Yes.
Leozi. I ship it.
Leozi. I think Leozi is really cute, personally.
Yeah.
Jump with me.
I don't know how Leon feels about it, or if he even notices it.
That's the new Kenna Connor. Like that.
Oh, the new Kenna Connor, Leozi.
Well, she is a redhead, and Leon is a redhead as well, so,
That's true.
They're gonna make beautiful ginger baby.
Except for this one, unlike Connor, if you hurt her, you have 2 very angry guardians coming after you.
More than 2.
You'd have 3.
That's true.
And then since 3, all the others will be like, yeah.
And then even Darthan will be like, I don't know. You're on your own, buddy.
I'm just saying that Leon's all into plants, and Rosie is like the daughter of the guardian of Earth and plants, and like he's a poisoner, which means that he deals with poisons and plants. So all I'm saying is there's that common,
So what you're saying is they both have a plant fetish. That's what you're saying.
They both have a plant fetish. I mean, Leon's is less subtle, but
I guess you planted that seed.
And that's where we end. No, I'm just
Hopefully it'll sprout into something amazing.
yeah.
Well, it's gonna need some watering, that's for sure.
Oh,
We'll
I
watch
think
that
Tyrion's
blossoming relationship.
I think Tyrion's just green with envy.
Oh,
But at least now the roots can grow. Like
we've devolved into puns
again.
That just happens all the time. There's just pun talks. I do have one question for both. This is more of a personal thing, a personal player question to both Kevin and Kim, because you haven't played Cedric, and you guys haven't played your characters in about the last couple of months since the reunion session, and even before that, many years. How does it feel kind of coming back after kind of so long, like replaying as your characters with like all of us in this new kind of like 10 years after?
Good question.
Easy. I know Andrea so well. She was easy to jump back into. I would say It's more like I just don't know what's going on, so I have to improv everything. But I know how
Yeah.
she feels. But yeah.
How about you, Kevin?
It's definitely not as easy as Andrea and Kimberly, because I have to kind of separate like my own kind of persona as like, oh, you know, when I'm in Hearts chat or something, it's like I'm the guy who just like hates mages and like, you damn mages, and then I have to transition over to Cedric, who's like, you know, he's fearful of magic. He doesn't hate mages, but he wants to protect them. So it's like, you know, me trying to like back out of that mindset of me just being like, oh, you darn mages are magic is so annoying, and like, and like kind of move into that. It takes a little bit, but once you kind of get the ball rolling, you've played these characters for so long that you can kind of step back into them a little bit quicker.
It's like a reflex, sort of.
Yeah,
it's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
You know? Even myself, like I hadn't played Hugh in forever, and so like getting back into the Hugh persona, because he's very different from any character I've ever role played, and it just feels like I'm getting back on a bike again and just figuring out his character. So
thanks for that. Just I haven't done many games where it's like, here's a second season of this game or a third season. And so I don't know much experience. I know experience like where we stop a game and we don't play for a while and getting back to something difficult, but to go from like my character's now 10 years old. I was just curious.
Well, you'll know what that's like in a year from now.
Yeah,
because you guys will also be in the same boat. You're gonna reprise these characters, assuming they're still alive. Assuming that you know Leon hasn't broken Rosie's heart, and the Antivan Crows all like went after him. So
and then Jared has gone insane from lyrium addiction, and
Tyrion has been captured by Amarin and being stuck in like solidarity for who knows how long.
And I'm not just by awake crying after my boy's been kidnapped.
Exactly. And Tasha's just like, I'm the Arcune. I have conquered Thetis.
Tasha just had diabetes. That's her fate.
That's true. Diabetes. But speaking of the crossover session, when you do during you guys' crossover session with the Harry Potter people, please bring Sir Garrison with you.
Yes.
Please bring the Templar with you.
We're doing that. Yes.
What? Not only are there wizards here, but everyone is a wizard, because literally everyone is magical now in that world.
Oh yeah, I haven't
universe.
seen that. So is it everyone has magic now?
Everyone has magic
except
now.
for me,
except for I shouldn't say that. Except for people, you can choose to not. So certain people don't. But
so everyone has the option.
Everyone has the option of being magical. Michael the Muggle.
Michael the Muggle.
Things were going so well in our campaign until all these crows started invading, and now we have a magic-hating Templar, and then now there's going to be more wizards. Oh man!
Like, can I just say, I have plans for the Harry Potter crossover, mainly because they have a boatload of griffins. So my plan is we bring across 10 males, and we put them in bow ties, and we have the Bachelorette Griffin edition.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And each week the Griffins have to do something amazing, and you know Vala has Grey Warden seals, and she gives them to the ones who can stay.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's amazing.
And the losers get
Can we do an interlude session of just that? Like we all play the males. We all play one of the males.
That's hilarious.
We have randomized stats, so we have to, figure out how to do a mating dance with random stats.
That would be hilarious. I'm not opposed to that. I think that would be kind of awesome. That would be great. And thus, this is how the dragon avatars were able to repopulate the world with griffins.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
they brought them back from extinction.
Yes, we did a conquest of sorts. Secondly, more of a contest in the other world. Oh lordy.
Oh, speaking of Grey Wardens, Dandelion's a Grey Warden.
Dandelion's a Grey Warden.
Man. I guess we're going to White House. White House?
What? No.
White House. White House.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they're with the Darkspawn because Deep Roads and Ferelden, I'm pretty sure is synonymous with Darkspawn. So
Yeah.
we're going to the Darkspawn.
This is going to be some reunion for Pasha, just surrounded by death and corruption and blood, and it's just my son.
It would
Like,
be,
across the
it
way.
would be interesting if we meet with King Kyle, actually, and like the dwarves and the Orzammar. That'd be pretty interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No! I
we
just
could
thought.
talk.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, we could talk to Andrea about getting a message to Dandelion, especially because he's going to be in the Deep Roads, and you'll never find him if he doesn't come out.
Yeah.
100%. I could do that. Heck, I'm pretty sure I have an Illuvion that's probably down there.
That's true. You could just take the Illuvion down
Of course,
there.
we get the
possibly.
fucking circus. We get airships, Illuvians, everything, and we get the fucking circus.
The Crow Circus.
The Antivan Crow Circus at that.
Should have known when their home base was in Tiva. That should have just been it right there.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Just I was surprised at how much Kimberly's like how many connections she had. I was just like, when she first said it, I was like, oh, okay. And then like it just kept happening, and I was like, hello? Like what?
Honey, what have you been doing the past 10 years?
When in Orlais, play the game.
For real.
Yeah, that's funny though, that it's like, oh, get a message to him. It's like, I could take her to him tomorrow.
Oh no.
You want to go to the Deep Roads? There you go.
I still find it funny that like that's out of the 3 NPCs I've given, and the 2 were like well, or at least one of them who was a friend. She is apparently a deep and corrupt spy. It's like fuck. Then no one is no NPCs turns friend. It's like except for like maybe Nathan.
They're your friends.
Yeah.
They're friends. Just because they're spying on you doesn't mean they want ill of you. It doesn't mean they have. And plus, what Narika said to be fair, what Narika said to Andrea wasn't anything against you personally, Tara.
True. Yes and no. Yes, because it's not against him particularly, but no, because it's against specifically a kid who honestly Tyrion wants to keep safe at least also.
And to be fair, she wants that kid to be safe as well. So
Just not in the right parenthood though.
the more eyes. I don't want to give away too much, so somebody might have to talk to Narika, but
She's special. Keep her secret.
she's yeah.
But it would be funny if like they take they take Balin, so the Balin's now with his Ashwood family.
Oh no.
And we've got a new brother, sweetheart.
And then Russo turns into Liam Neeson. I've got a very particular set of skills.
You just get a scroll delivered to your door. I will find you.
I will find you and I will object you.
Oh, and then he can use his lawyer powers and be like, Judge, they kidnapped my son, and I want a restraining order.
He could try.
In every nation.
Oh no! I don't like that.
The Guardians are pretty.
Guardians is really good at forging legal papers.
Apparently, they are. Yes.
Oh.
And it's like when a
Also-
lawful good party goes up against a chaotic neutral party. They just don't care.
Yeah, I also, we definitely should not bring Garrison or Nathan to the Deep Roads because, yeah,
Ooh.
Probably a good idea.
definitely not those two.
Something that I really enjoyed.
Oh, sorry. I was just asking, does Maximilian know? I don't remember.
Nope,
About
he doesn't.
what?
The Darkspawn.
About that Darkspawn? Oh no.
No.
No, he doesn't know anything about that.
Definitely not. No.
I should tell him that it was Theoben behind it all.
Sever that bridge. Sever that. All of a sudden, Theo's like, no, my estate, my butler, my maids, my. I have a good thing going on in Ferelden right
And then
now.
it all his mansion burns down, and he like goes to his knees and collapses and says, "My diagrams."
Yeah, my diagrams. Anything else?
I was going to say something that I really liked during this session. One, calling Cersei stupid. That was fun.
Yes.
But
That was
something that I've wanted to bring up with Pasha, but hasn't really happened, is the fact that she is human under the Qun, and like most people her age would be converts, but you know she is Kunari. She was born under the Qun. Her mother was a convert, but Pasha was like, I was born here. This is my mother tongue, and I've kind of wanted to get into like that kind of like, I am Kunari, but I'm not Kunari, but I'm not human because I haven't lived that life. What about my life makes me human? And I really wasn't expecting that to come up with Cersei basically being like, oh, you're Kunari, but you're human. I'm just like...
Yeah. Cersei's not very well traveled in that sense. And he's very intelligent, but for very specific things. Not so intelligent culturally. Certainly Cogs is better at that than he is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Cersei is a guy who just likes making weapons in his workshop, so...
He definitely likes making weapons.
I mean...
That's his jam.
I just gotta
weapons
say,
of mass destruction.
I just gotta say, if it doesn't happen in this campaign, and if there is a Dragon Age Season 4, Dragon Age Season 4 is gonna be just a fucking world war with Kunari and humans. This is gonna happen.
like if they had water now and also airships with Gatlock, it would be here.
Yeah. It's like the Krogan. It's like the Krogan.
Yeah. It wouldn't be Dragon Age Ascension. Yeah, it would be Dragon Age World War One.
It's
Get rid of the
not
genophage.
that everyone in the Qun is evil. It's that the Qun itself believes that it's their duty to absorb everybody else. You all become part of the Qun. So eventually, that's their plan. No matter what, they will eventually succeed. So the war will happen someday.
Someday, maybe sooner rather than later, but...
Within a week, you said. Within a week after the water's there. No.
I mean, if we can build more airships, you can just give them to the Felician Armada, make a new one, and then just have them fight the Kunari. I mean, they did kick their shit back in around those times.
And just think of how many of your children are going to die in a world war.
But they're serving the Qun though, so they're diving for a very good cause rather than just expensive death. Come on, man.
Oh, my babies! I could not. Oh, Pasha couldn't do that. Pasha loves her children too much. Like, keep them safe. And
It's when you make political marriages. You take them over not with war but with peace. You politically marry people off to just the right folk. Like you get in with Nathan and you're like, oh, do you know this child that I raised?
like Crusader Kings, you just like romance your way.
Yeah.
I just realized how Pasha could be okay with Darkspawn.
Oh?
Dandelion is a Grey Warden, which means he has a death sentence with the calling, but there's a cure being done, which is being developed by the Darkspawn. So he is guaranteed to die unless the Darkspawn survive and the cure is there. I just realized that.
Pasha, we only need one.
Set everything else on fire, burn it all.
I'd say 5 just in case an experiment go wrong.
You need a couple spares just in case this one goes wrong.
Yeah.